Oh, what is up, everybody? Welcome to FSP. Let's see, we are on episode number 118. Thanks, everybody, for being here as usual. And hey, this has been an exciting day or so in
Mhm.
Xbox world because there's some awesome news and some exciting news for many people. And wow, this dead franchise, this franchise that's nobody cares about whatsoever has dominated headlines, videos, all the biggest content creators. Everybody is talking. Guess what? Halo. And we're going to be doing some more of that tonight as well here on Fun Speculation Podcast, as well as some other topics as well. So we'll get into a couple other things. Another game that is coming out tomorrow, actually, that has some crazy high reviews. That is maybe a game of the year contender, as well as also another thing launches. Was actually a few hours delayed, maybe I'm not sure, and we'll talk about that as well. But yeah, it's awesome to see everybody here in the chat hanging out again on our new time of 9 p.m. Eastern time, 8 p.m. Central. And I want to thank everybody for tuning into Fun Speculation Podcast. All right, so let's get into the awesome panel. We have the one and only Fuzzy Belvedere here hanging out. What's up, Fuzz?
What's up, everyone? Glad to be here with you guys. Yeah, it's been pretty exciting to have like a breaking story on a Sunday evening kind of thing.
Yeah,
But man, there's just so much going on between Halo stuff, Diablo. A couple hour delay, but yeah, that's definitely going to be something I'm going to be falling into here soon. And then Shattered Space still going strong. Yeah, it's going to be a pretty good week, pretty good episode. Can't wait to get into these topics with you guys.
yeah, man. Thanks for being here as always, Fuzz. And the one and only Psychonauts is going to be able to join us here for a little while tonight. He's got to get up super early again tomorrow, living the old man work life. Got to go to Betty by and stuff, but it's okay. We appreciate it. You got to get ready for this hurricane coming your way, Psycho. How
There's
you
no
been?
place like home. There's no place like home. Yes. Unfortunately, you have to get up early to get the store hurricane proofed because this some bitch is a category 5 now. And yeah, and it's looking like it's gonna smack us right in the face. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I just wish it just loops around the whole state and doesn't make landfall at all, but that's wishful thinking. But anyways, great to be here. A lot of exciting topics, especially Halo. What I saw was really great. I'm still on the fence right now. As long as it feels like Halo, I'm good with it, but we'll get into it, and hopefully we'll talk about Metaphor because that goddamn game is oh, chef's kiss so far.
Yeah. I think have you played the prologue for Metaphor, Fuzzy, at all?
No, no, I haven't gotten a chance to dive into it yet, but I'm starting to feel the FOMO, so I might have to give it a
Bro.
try as well.
This
Yeah.
is amazing. You play Persona, right?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Okay, so it, yeah, we'll get into it because I'm very excited for Metaphor. Very excited.
Yeah, man. We're definitely gonna talk some Metaphor tonight, as well. But hey, the one and only Game Pass Dad dropping in like it's hot. What's up, bro? How's it going, man?
What's up, y'all? How's it going?
Not bad. How you been?
I'm hanging in there, staying busy. Just excited about some Halo news. Hoping it's good news, but glad I could stop in.
Yeah, man. So yeah, let's dive right into Halo because we're all Halo lovers here for the most part. I think you've come on to Halo a little bit, Fuzzy, but you're still kind of like not as they have the history of the franchise like some of us here.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that third person stuff. Hopefully, fingers crossed for campaign. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a lot of news. So leading that, the Halo CS has been going on, right? And I was seeing how many people were watching it on Twitch and stuff. There's actually a huge audience still for the esports for Halo and stuff. So it was pretty cool to see that. But besides that, like we've actually had quite a bit of Halo news. There's been some rumors swirling around, and some of the rumors turned out to be true. On was it Saturday? I had a Mavcast a little bit talking about some of the stuff, and one of the rumors that was swirling around was about Unreal Engine because of job postings or not job postings, but LinkedIn profiles actually for some of the people over there at 343, which we'll get into that name in a minute. But yeah, there was a lot of swirling around stuff. Then Rebs Gaming on Twitter had posted that there was supposed to be some kind of a big announcement actually about the future of Halo right before the grand finals of Halo CS. And so we were all kind of sitting on pins and needles wondering what's that going to be. Supposedly it was an announcement of a new game. And supposedly it didn't have to do with Infinite. So it's like, what is it going to be? What could that possibly mean if it's actually huge news? Well, it did turn out to be huge news because it doesn't just involve one game. It doesn't just involve anything. It involves the whole direction of the future of the franchise, which I'd say is actually kind of bigger news than anything you could probably get with Halo. And it definitely caused a lot of conversation last night, caused all day conversations today. That's all I see anybody talking about is Halo, 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 Halo. Which was pretty damn awesome just in general to see that and so much positivity about Halo. Also, seeing the excitement and hype from the community about a franchise that so many of us love. And yeah, this news is Halo is officially moving completely into Unreal Engine 5. The also studio has multiple projects that are underway and have been underway for a while. They also revealed a research kind of project that they had, codenamed Foundry, that they have been using to figure out the capabilities of Unreal Engine 5 and how they're going to be making Halo games. And with the Xbox Wire post, they explained that it's not just a tech demo. What we saw with Foundry is actually the ingredients of the expectations that we should have of what Halo is going to be going forward. Saying as much as what we saw in Foundry could actually appear in future Halo projects. So that was also very promising to hear. And with that, we also have a clear delineation with the past era of Halo as they move into the new era, as 343 has created that delineation by rebranding themselves as Halo Studios. So 343 is dead. Halo Studios is born. Slipspace is going to somewhat survive within Halo Infinite, but new games are going to be made using Unreal Engine, and they explained in the video the benefits of that for the studio, for the franchise, and everything. And just to get it out of the way, to start things off, I was very against Halo going into Unreal Engine at first. When Halo Infinite was announced and Halo Infinite came out, and everybody was on and on about Slipspace Engine and how, like, why did they just do Unreal? My argument is like, because it wouldn't feel like Halo, right? It wouldn't feel like Halo, and I wanted the next mainline Halo game that felt like Halo. I thought Slipspace delivered upon that. I thought Slipspace was amazing at making Halo feel fresh and good, but also keeping the roots of what have made every Halo game. But then we started to see the problems. Then we started to see the issues that this old tech and this old engine would bring with very slow, stagnant content output, as 343 Industries explained in their new Halo Studios role now, saying that basically they were having to split so much resources just working on this tech, and they couldn't as much focus on building the games. And that seems like what this is going to be all about going forward now, is that moving to Unreal Engine is they're not going to have to do a bunch of training when people come on board to figure out how to make this stuff, because people are already familiar with Unreal Engine. They are going to be able to get right in, get involved, and help them create awesome Halo games. And as the studio head, Pierre Heinz, said in his part on the video and also in the Xbox Wire posts, like, everybody there now is just focused on one thing, and that's making great Halo games. And that's promising to hear. We'll see how Unreal Engine does with the feel, right? But I'll make a case that I'm over that now. I just want something fresh. and want to see what they can produce, and more Halo. Them being able to do more things for me is a good thing. But yeah, Psycho, like what was your overall thoughts when you saw this video last night that they posted?
I will say it looks stunning. For what they're able to do, you know, they have the best UE5 developers with the coalition. So having Halo, having that team to, you know, to ask questions and stuff, we can tell that why we saw how great it looked. Again, I'm gonna reserve the game until it comes out. In Unreal to say, you know, to take my L because I was there with you and saying that, you know, slip space it has to be because, you know, Halo feels like Halo in slip space, you know, and not it possibly it could not feel like that in UE, but with what they're saying, it sounds like they kind of found a way to get that feeling, and the only way to really find out is to play it. But what I saw, amazing. The biomes that they showed the what was it, the like tropical beach,
There's a Pacific Northwest, and
Pacific Northwest.
then there's the snow and stuff, and then there's the flood.
The flood
They call blighted. Yeah,
that to me looks amazing, and I'm hoping that, you know, that could be a where they find out, you know, where the flood originated, and now they took over as that's their home planet. You know, is Gravemind making a return? Because we know that Gravemind is just a collection of the flood as a mind, as a hive mind. So, you know, it's not the same Gravemind that we saw in Halo 2. Possibly it could be something, you know, something totally, you know, a different creature, but still Gravemind, you know, because that's kind of what the entity is called. But yeah, it looks amazing. It, you know, what they said, they want Halo to be what it used to be, what it, you know, and a stunning showcase type game. And, you know, if they can get there, still deliver on how a Halo game feels like in UE5. And then I think that will put a lot of people, because now you get the opportunity to get more talent, keep and retain talent, because UE5 is more accessible with a lot of developers versus Slipspace, where it was a whole new technology and you had these contractors that came in, learned it, and then by the time they figured it out, they had the contract end. So, you know, we're hoping that Halo Studios, that whole contract employment goes away, and that they keep in-house a good solid team where they can have multiple projects, as they said that they're doing, going at the same time. Give us an RTS, give us, you know, like a flood type
flood of content.
Pretty much.
That's what
pretty
we
much.
want.
Yeah, exactly. And we want more of, you know, there's so much that they could do with the Halo universe in content wise, that it's going to be one of those things that people be like, holy shit, okay, they fucking cranked up Halo to another notch, where we're getting just game after game into this universe that everybody loves. Because, you know, Halo Wars, a lot of people loved it, and it was just more continuation of the story, and there's so much more that they could do that they're not doing right now because they're limited with slip space. So we'll see.
And the cool thing, like, is they did also announce they're hiring for each one of these projects separately as well. They're growing the studio again. So Halo Studios now is what it's called, is growing. This was like an important thing for me, because like 343 just, for what, if warranted or not, right? And I think more warranted than not, has a stigma around it, right? Regarding the Halo franchise. And even though I've loved each of their games, They still didn't capture the imagination from the masses as much as the Bungie Halo games of the past. So 343's name just kind of carried like a little bit of stigma. So just moving over to Halo Studios as the name, you're rehiring. You've cleaned out a lot of the old higher ups at 343. Bonnie Ross moved on. A lot of other people moved on. Pierre Heinz, who has fixed Master Chief Collection and has since done a lot of awesome things with Halo Infinite as the new head of Halo Studios, is setting this up where it's like, let's have a clear delineation of the past and then the future, right? So when you see these new games going forward that are built in Unreal, it is going to be Halo Studios. That's going to always stand apart, separate, and different than the past of 343. As they said at the end of the video, also is Infinite is kind of culminating how they used to make Halo games, and with Halo Studios and Unreal Engine now is marking the way that they're going to be making Halo games going forward. What was your takeaways when you initially saw this, Bob?
With the update yesterday, I mean, I feel like it's in a good spot to possibly make progress. I mean, sorry, I was reading some updates. I was trying to get a track on like what kind of updates they've done like over the past 2 years since Pierre took control of 343. But it feels like a good chance for a fresh start at the very least. I feel that a lot of people have felt over the last like 10 years or so, since like Halo 4, Halo 5, Halo Infinite, that 343 really has kind of lost the plot. Like they haven't been able to live up to the legacy of the original franchise and like what Bungie did. But essentially like all the top staff has been like has left, like Bonnie and Frank O'Connor. We have Pierre in charge, who has proven that he can take a game that's in a rough state and turn it around. And most importantly, I feel like the people that are working on it, like at least seem that they're passionate about Halo as a franchise and like want to bring new and exciting like experiences to like us as gamers. So, I mean, this is basically the closest thing that we could get to like completely closing down 343 and giving Halo to another studio. Like I feel like we have a new captain at the wheel, and there's like they've definitely thinned out the herd. It's just at that point I'm hoping that, and I said it earlier on like Mr. Boomstick's show, like I'm hoping that we have the actual investment from Microsoft and the freedom for this studio to like basically make sure that they're providing like the best Halo experience and that they're like true to what came before, while also expanding on the universe in ways that they may not have had a chance to yet, like with different types of games and experiences that we might want to see. Like I know everyone has an idea for a Halo game. Like I'd like to see more instead of like just one Halo game every 5 years. So overall, I'm optimistic of the changes, and I feel like we're in a good place moving forward to like basically like move forward with Halo. Like hopefully Infinite, hopefully they add to it, but the change over to just the Unreal Engine, like I feel like that's a positive change, because it seems that they did have difficulty maintaining and losing man hours to maintaining the slip space engine. So hopefully without that hindrance, they can just focus on the experience and really nail the look and because I mean, it looks like Halo. People are still going to complain about it, but most importantly, it needs to feel like Halo. That's going to be the biggest thing, because I think even Infinite took a minute before it really felt like Halo, or at least got to a point where it's acceptable. So like, because even just recently, they like the last update, they just added back in like the grenade bounces, like the explosion ability to actually bounce you. So I'd really like to see it go back to feeling like Halo, and then also continue to innovate as well. So
I mean, and I think just there's no way around the fact that it's probably going to feel kind of different, right? I mean, they've been still like Slipspace is still an evolution of the technology they were using back with the original Halo. Like they've been
Right.
improving upon it, improving upon it, improving upon it. And close to the question is like, how close can they get to the feel, or like, will we be pat over that at that point and just ready for something new, right?
Yeah.
And I think for me, that's been my biggest turnaround is like with Halo Infinite, I was the ultra defensive because I love the way it feels. Like I thought it was
Yeah.
just like amazing what they were able to make it look like and feel so classic at the same time, but also improve the speed and everything of it as well. But along the way, like it started to just feel kind of more like, well, there's not as much excitement and energy around this game anymore. The players are falling off a little bit. The community is still there, but it's not as like into it as much as they used to be, except for like a hardcore like few and stuff. And it just kind of like kills the vibe a little bit about the franchise. And you see mostly
Right.
negative comments, negative connotation everywhere you go. And for me, it's like I want to be excited. I want to feel good about where it is, like not just for me, but for everybody else too, right? And I think that I've come to terms at some point during Halo Infinite's lifespan with I'm willing to accept Halo having its past and then having a different future, right?
Yeah.
And I just want to know what that future is. Now, Halo has so many expectations. Like it doesn't matter what. Like it has to launch with every mode possible. It has to have everything that every Halo game's released before it. At launch, it has to look great. It has to play great. It has to have a lot of maps. It has to have a great pipeline of content. It has to have everything in a game that also evolves heavily for each release. It's not like Call of Duty, which is like very similar each release.
Yeah.
They just kind of make new maps and improve the graphics a little bit and stuff. But like this is every time they release a Halo game, it's like a fresh new thing, right? And it takes years.
I do feel like you hit something important there though too. Like when they do release the new Halo, it needs to be feature complete, like, or at least like well on the way to like not having much to improve, or like a set roadmap for like, all right, we're releasing the campaign and the multiplayer and Forge comes in like 2 or 3 months, like not the huge like year-long delay that we had. Because if Infinite was released with like Forge from the jump, like I feel like our conversations would be way different right now as far as like the popularity of it. But I mean, if you look at over the weekend, like you were saying previously, the Twitch viewership, like Friday there was an average viewership of 33,000 for Halo Infinite. What was it? Saturday was 44,000, and like overnight last night there was like 100,000 people watching Halo, like the World Championships on Twitch. So like I do feel that Halo isn't necessarily as mainstream as it used to be anymore. And yeah, people who don't necessarily vibe with Halo or Microsoft games might like to dunk on Halo as much as they can, because it's just people wanted to kill it for so long. They like to see it like lose grip. But I mean, like the Steam charts aren't a good representation of like how many people are actually playing, because a lot of people that play, like even myself, I play Halo Infinite through the Xbox app on my PC. I don't play it through Steam. Like
Yeah, I think a lot of people do.
Yeah, there's still like 100,000 monthly, like one, I think it's 100,000 at least, maybe even up to like 150 or 200,000. Last time I checked the actual like numbers that were available, like it's still at least like close to 100,000 that are playing this game on a monthly basis. Like it's not a small game.
Well, it's also, I think it's a misperception that Halo
Yeah.
Infinite was a failure to
Right.
Microsoft and to Xbox. Like it broke records when it launched, right?
Right.
It sold a ton. It like hit $1 billion or of revenue within like a week or something like that. It was crazy.
Even the same with Halo 5. Like Halo 5 made $5 billion, I think.
Yeah, and Halo Infinite is still profitable and successful going forward now. Like it's had its turmoil, obviously, with a drop off that they didn't want to see happen, right? And I think they're blaming a lot of that on the engine themselves, and they know the turmoil that they had to go through more than anything. And I think that like it's just for me, it's like in my mind, I'm trying to erase all expectations and just be excited for something new and fresh.
Yeah,
right?
that's where I am for sure.
Like, what is it going to feel like? What is it going to play like? I know what it's going to look like now, because they showed the Foundry thing and they said this is kind of representative of what we want the future franchise to be, and they made it very clear in the Xbox Wire post about that. But my whole thing was like the feel before, and like just personally, I'm like I'm ready to accept that if Halo moving forward needs to do this to be a successful franchise, if it's going to feel different, I'm going to personally let go of some of my nostalgia, because I have that with Infinite, I have it with Master Chief Collection and all that kind of stuff. And I just hope that whatever it is going forward feels and plays great, right? And I think I don't know if there's going to be able to recapture the exact same thing that the hardcore Halo fans have the nostalgia for in the feeling, because a lot of that's based around the tech that they had. But going forward, I think that with the resources they have, with the help also from Epic, which they did mention Epic being involved with helping them with this whole changeover to Unreal and everything, is going to capture something that's awesome, because Microsoft and Halo Studios are going to put a lot of resources into this franchise, as they are still maintaining that it's an important franchise. And that's the other point I wanted to make. And when they acquired ABK, right, in the back of my mind, little birdie is like, well, they got Call of Duty now. You know what I mean? Like, they got Call of Duty. Like, is Halo, if it continues to kind of just be what it is, still going to remain the core ultimate franchise for Xbox, right? As the Xbox brand and Xbox identity and stuff. And I think more than anything, with this announcement here was a clear message that they are moving forward, not just with the next big Halo game, but with multiple games, and going to be giving us more Halo than we've ever gotten, especially in recent years. So I'm super hyped about those aspects for it, and I'll take my L on the slip space thing. I thought it was going to be the next biggest thing in the world, and like everybody like was overreacting and all this kind of stuff about the whole pipeline stuff. But then we waited 6 months for a season, then another 6 months, and then all those other kind of things, and it's like, okay, yeah, they never really got ironed out. Then they ended up canceling a lot of their campaign plans because of all of the stuff and all that stuff that I was excited for Infinite. And if this fixes all of those issues, where the developers can just focus on making awesome Halo content and not worry about all that other shit, then I think for us as gamers and as Halo fans, is the future's brighter than it was yesterday before this announcement, for sure. Fuzzy, like, is this, like, what do you think that as a more, I'll call you like a Pong Soul, like a more casual Halo fan, right? Do you think actually moving into this is actually just going to attract even more new gamers, possibly, that just get hyped because of the old Unreal Engine 5 excitement, just inherently that always carries some weight. I remember at Keeley's show at the Game Awards, 2 years ago, that there was like, and we're here to show you this new game in Unreal Engine 5, and the crowd went wild. They're like, yeah. Then it was like that. Anime. Was it Sandlands or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's like, oh. But just in general, like Unreal Engine 5 and all that stuff carries a lot of excitement. So you think it'll kind of capture some attention from more casuals?
I think so, as well as that whole third person aspect. Like, anytime you change to a slightly different perspective, even if it's not, let's say, the main line, let's say it's not a chief story or anything along those lines. Let's just say they do a couple of spin-offs where it's like third person, or let's say they actually use this engine in the process to bring about either a Halo 3 or Halo Wars 3, or like a twin stick shooter, kind of like the way the Ascent was, or something along those lines. I think it opens up a lot more options to attract more than their core or their base fans that have been with the series from get-go. It'll give them an opportunity to, let's say, pull from other big games out there that have like different perspectives. Like, there's still a fan base that wants that third person like military shooter, like your SOCOM style, which there aren't really many options. Now there is a mode obviously in like Call of Duty and stuff, but having a third person perspective for Halo, which some people have asked for in the past, I think would be a start. And then just having that updated visuals with UE5. And yes, I know some people are like, oh, it'll be 30 frames, blah, blah, blah. No, they have to remember Coalition as well as Ninja Theory being in the Xbox Fold will more than likely be able to help them as far as not necessarily hands-on type stuff, but they've already probably been working on doing gears at 60 in the UE5 and have probably been working on that for years now, to the point where they'll be able to hit the ground running without having to worry about some of the optimization tricks that they'll have to find to be able to get it at 60 frames right out the gate. And I think that will be one of the biggest things, because that type of shooter, you're going to want those twitch movements and stuff like that. So I think this sets aside that they'll still be able to have at least the visual feel and smoothness that you've always had, as well as now upgraded, not just the materials and uniforms and things like that on the characters, but the environments, like the variety of biomes. Like I think probably for me, the only thing that didn't really wow me with Infinite was that it was a very similar biome throughout. And then just seeing some of the examples they had, which, we've kind of talked about this off and on, ever since Infinite releases, like, hey, what if they had, a horror version of Halo where it's like a ring infected by the flood or something along those lines. And they went out and showed what that environment would look like. And I think that's, the things that will attract more, players that may not, be into Halo as it currently stands. They'll be interested in some of the new things or maybe new modes and such that, they have to offer. But I think in that announcement of them going from 343 to Halo Studios, the fact that they're going to Unreal Engine, we've heard some buzzing in the background and stuff, but I think it's a good step forward, because now, especially under the new leadership that they have, I think Pierre, he's had it where they were working on Unreal as far as whether it's menus or UI and other things before. So he's already had plenty of experience with the engine. And it also makes it easier for, instead of the whole contractor situation that they had, during, Halo Infinite, where it's like, all right, the first couple of months are getting the new hires or the contractors on board with the slip space engine, which, since it's a proprietary engine, not many people outside of the company are going to have experience with it. I mean, some are quick learners and will be able to, hit the ground running a little bit sooner, but that's still an onboarding process where you're spending time training. And then if their contract is up and they're not renewed, you just lost all that training time, and you're going to have to do training on the next group of people coming in. UE5 being like the, basic engine across the whole gaming space, it'll be easier to like cherry pick talent from either, recruiting them from other studios or just in general. You'll have a lot more of a pool to pull from as far as people that are well versed or experienced in UE5. So yeah, there's so many upsides to this. I think not only are you looking to attract more, let's say casual, first person shooter or even third person shooter players potentially, but you're now giving possibly the fans something that they've asked for as far as differences with the Halo universe. Like I think we've heard before in like court documents and stuff that were leaked that, they were always afraid of oversaturating the Halo franchise, but yet you can look over at Nintendo and there's like 24 titles in the past few years for Mario. Like Mario's into everything, and we'd probably like to see more, Halo stuff along those lines, like that. What was it? Not Lego. It was like the blocks thing that they had that they canceled a while back. The RTS aspect with Halo Wars needs to come back. Having just that more opportunity to, speed up, well, not necessarily speed up, but churn out more Halo franchise items in a, probably a shorter period of time would be, the best approach moving forward. So there's just all upsides to this whole changeover, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, man. Now multiple projects for Halo Studios. Like, I'm trying to wrap my head around it. Like I said something on I went live a little bit last night because I was just excited for the news and stuff. But like, um, this isn't going to be just a new Halo. Like this is going to be new Halo, right? This is going to be new Halo in a way, and like multiple projects in the works is exciting for me because I start wrapping my head around like what could that mean? What could they be like? What like? And I kind of want to know what you guys want. Like, is the next? I'm sure one of them is the next main line, right? But other than that, like, are they going to start maybe separating the experiences? Like, is there going to be okay, just single player campaigns that they're going to drop and that maybe tell different stories and different experiences? Are they going to have another separate multiplayer? If they do that, is it going to be everywhere? You know, are they going to release it in other platforms as well and all that kind of stuff? Like, there's a lot of thoughts to be had about what all of this means, right? But I just kind of want to know as far as like projects, like what do you want to see? Like Psycho, what would you want to see from these multiple projects?
Oh man, like a horror game with a flood. Something like a Left 4 Dead or Back for Blood, something like that, where you go. There's like waves, or areas. Something like that would be really great. Um, of course, Halo Wars 3. We need to continue that storyline. But again, one franchise that we love is Halo ODST. And right now, there's a love for, they're the original Hell Jumpers, boots on the ground. And that right there, it has everything that you need for a great, uh, you know, like however you want to play. If you want to do a battle royale, you want to do an extraction type game, whatever, because you got the drop pods that you drop in, and you got
Mhm.
all the weapons, you got all the lore there, you got things that you have a recipe, a franchise just needs to be made. um I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing like a tactical game, kind of along the lines of like Gears Tactics, maybe Halo's Tactics. uh
Yeah,
and
multiple genres, right? Just like spread out.
there's just so much. There's just so much outside of just a first person shooter. I mean, even you possibly can get make some kind of like RPG, action RPG as well with Halo.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like the possibilities are endless. That was always been my kind of thing is like we just haven't gotten enough Halo. They kind of like let these just one big main lines like with Halo 5 and then with Halo Infinite be everything that Halo is for a while. And like we used to get different experiences like ODST like you mentioned, the Halo Wars franchise. They even had the Spartan Strike and Spartan Assault games that I wasn't a huge fan of those for sure. But there's was always something different to look forward to, and this from last generation to this, it's become like less than ever before, except just focusing all on the mainline game, right? Bob, what do you want to see, man? What do you want to see for multiple projects?
I mean, honestly, like I don't know if I necessarily want to just put it in a box of uh like make a game like this or make a game like that. Like I would like them to definitely experiment and bring like new experiences that like maybe we don't expect, you know.
Mhm.
Like certainly they could pretty much do anything with it, but more or less just the main thing I'd like to see is like more Halo experiences because I feel um like the Halo universe from Microsoft hasn't been utilized nearly enough. Like we've gotten a game like once every like 5 to 10 years, or maybe probably not that long, but like 5 or 6 years ever since like 2001. Like it's just not quite enough if we just have. I think Roberto said it's not enough to have like one Halo game every generation. And I don't necessarily think that they need to continue bringing like more mainline experiences every generation. Like it would be cool if we get more DLC or operations like we had in Halo 4, where we could continue it, or some of the stuff that was like on the cutting room floor for Infinite that I think could have been really cool, which would be more like, I think I remember reading that they were going to have more of a almost looter shooter-esque part of it where you go and do missions and like get upgrades or like unlock cosmetics for your character, things like that. Like, just I want reasons to like come back to the universe and enjoy it. And I'd like to just see like more Halo experiences, whether it's part of a traditional Halo game where you're a Spartan or even like an ODST, but like I'd also wouldn't mind seeing like more family oriented options or just other fun things based in the Halo universe, even just utilizing the IP and like just expanding on it, I think is what's really needed to like bring it to the forefront a little bit more.
Yeah, man. I agree with that too. Like it obviously there's going to be a million ideas that people have, right? Like,
Right.
oh, I want to see this kind of Halo. Like I've been advocating for like a Doom kind of feeling Halo where you're
Well,
like you're on a banished or a covenant ship and you're stranded there and you got to get out and all you got is a sword and what the weapons you pick up, and it's kind of more it's infested by the flood as well, and it's like
yeah.
you got to get out, you know, like there's a million ideas you could have, but I think more than anything it's just the idea now that they're able to produce more
Yeah. And
is the most positive thing.
not only that, but there's already like a lot that you can do in like Forge and things like that to
Mhm.
bring more experiences, and like even just the fact that all of the maps that we have in Halo as of right now, like all the new maps that we're getting in Infinite are brought from like that Forge experience, like I think says a lot with like the power of that. So I mean, with the game now being on like Unreal, I do believe that may expand on the type of tools, if I'm not mistaken, because like with Fortnite, I know that Unreal Engine, like creative, like there's been a lot of options available to creators through that program in order to build things with like Fortnite assets. So I mean, it'll be exciting to see what they're going to get into the hands of creators with like the Unreal Engine as well.
Yeah, man. I'm all aboard on Halo Wars 3 too, just saying that out, putting that out there, but like they didn't necessarily need to go to switch to Unreal for that. You know what I mean? So
Right.
that's like I think a separate whole thing, but like I think just knowing now that like okay, we have these teams, they're growing them. They're now able to focus on not having to just build technology. They're able to focus on these experiences. I think it'll also increase the speed of delivering on the games as well,
Yeah.
right? Fuzzy, like, what do you want to see, man? Like, hey, multiple Halo projects. So they didn't say they said multiple. So I don't know if
Yeah.
that means 2 or if that means 3 or but they said multiple. So
Right.
I don't know how many projects they got going on, but it seems like they're fully cooking there.
Yeah, I think one of the big things now is that, you know, after like Helldivers 2 came out, and there were the rumors swirling about they you know pitched a project like that a while back, like an actual Hell Jumpers project, and it didn't get greenlit. I think now they're probably looking back at it and saying, you know, let's brainstorm on some of those things that we may have overlooked in the past or shot down in the past, and probably give those, you know, a green light this time, or at least see, you know, what it would take as far as with this engine setup to bring it to fruition. Like I talked about it before, and I know others have had this idea as well, where maybe you even do a crossover between Halo and Doom. I can't remember who it was. I think PTK said it on like Saturday or something, or maybe it was one of us on Friday, where it was like, you know what? How about you have Master Chief in Doom's world, or in the world of Doom, like basically in hell, and you have, you know, Doom guy in, you know, in the Halo world, and they have to kind of figure out how you get back to your original world, but have some sort of crossover like that.
That as a co-op game would be insane.
It's time for some corporate synergy, brothers.
Could you imagine a game where you're hopping between the universes of Doom and like Halo, like back and forth, and you're helping each other out, like as Doom guy and,
That'd be
and Master
wild.
Chief? That'd be fucking crazy.
Yeah, I mean, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. Like I know this is going to be on the silly side of things, but I still want a kart racer, even if it's just like all Xbox character kart racer. But I'm kind of surprised there. I know that there's a forge, a couple of forge things that were built as far as like warthog races and things like
there's
that.
some Mario Kart tracks for mongoose races too.
Yeah, but like now go ahead and make like official versions of that stuff. Like it may be silly, but it's stuff that would probably do well within the Game Pass fold of things, to the point where you can, find a way to monetize that with skins and so forth. But I just think the ideas are limitless as far as what's possible at this point. Like I still want to see, and I originally had the idea for something in the Gears universe, but I still want to see something along those lines like the Ascent. Like I don't want necessarily a full RTS. I want that twin stick shooter that's a little faster pace, where you can have, let's say maybe you're just a basic Marine going through like the Halo universe to some extent in like one of those twin stick shooters setups where it is a co-op, maybe up to 4 players or something along those lines. And you're just going through the ring and trying to reclaim some of those territories and stuff. But the horror version, with the flood, I think they've already gotten that message, considering that they showed that biome. And I'm hoping that's one of the first ones that they introduce as one of the projects and stuff. But we even got Certain Affinity that was working on, what was it, Tatanka, which I think we were all kind of under the impression that might be Unreal as well. So that might be one of the first ones that they officially release or announce as well, even though it's not officially the Halo Studios doing it. But I think this opens up that opportunity for, some of their partners as far as these, third-party studios, or even possibly collaborations between some of their other first-party studios. I think the possibilities are endless at this point. And I definitely want to see that horror one. Excuse me, my voice decided to go. and the Doom verse, or not really verses, but like a Doom Halo collaboration one. I think those are probably I wouldn't say the low-hanging fruit, but probably the easiest ones that would give them a big return and have a lot of excitement behind it as well.
Yeah, man. Right on. I was just reading this one from Brett Bingham. Says, Left 4 Dead horde-based shooter with Doom Guy, Master Chief, Marcus Phoenix, the Arbiter, and BJ Blazkowicz. That'd be fucking insane, man. You imagine like a reveal trailer for something like that at like a summer game showcase, where you just like don't know what the game is, and you start off with like one of the characters, right? Like let's say it's like BJ Blazkowicz or something, and it's like, oh, okay, what is this? Oh, all right, we're getting another Wolfenstein. That's really cool. And then you see like Marcus Phoenix show up, and it's like, what the fuck is going on here, right? Then all of a sudden you see Doom Guy appear, right? Oh, what the hell's this crossover kind of thing, right? And then you see the Arbiter show up. You're like, oh shit, we even got aliens in this motherfucker. This is actually crazy. Then Master Chief comes on and says, let's finish the fight together, and goes and they start slaying all kinds of shit. Yeah, that would be insanity, man. But
Yeah.
these are the kind of pipe dream kind of things that we have. I would say that there's more chances of kind of crossover content now because of UE5. But I don't know if that's necessarily what they're going for. I think that they're going to go first off to capture the traditional Halo audience and the fans, and then grow from there. But by doing so, by providing more content. But also I want to touch on this because everybody's saying like Halo's a dead franchise, Halo's this, Halo's that for so long, and I've been like, no, Halo's still huge. They had the show got canceled because of the fiascos going on over there at Showtime and all that kind of stuff in Paramount. Then you had Infinite it's kind of picked up steam as far as like the amount of the content, the updates, and there's a lot of people looking forward to different stuff in it. Third person mode's coming. You have Helljumpers coming from the Forge team that looks like they're just going above and beyond with some awesome stuff, right? So there's still just a great fan base there, and but like as far as going beyond that, it's everybody's like, hey, it's lost its luster. It's not going to ever go beyond what this is. But then you see this news drop right on a Sunday night, and the internet actually completely explodes. You see like nothing but all the biggest Halo, well, not Halo, but the biggest gaming creators and YouTube creators and everybody and streamers, everybody talking about this today. Like podcasts that are about other things are talking about this. You see like kind of funny, like bring back even XCast for this big news and all this other kind of stuff. Like this Halo always carries a big stick, right? When it comes to news or anything revolving Halo, when there's Halo news or something to be excited about, you see something like on another level a little bit, which is, I think, more than anything, it just means that inherently at deep level, people still love and adore this franchise and want to be excited for new things to come. I'm trying to wrap my head around any other game or any other franchise, right? Announced they're moving into Unreal Engine 5. What any of them would create this level of conversation and excitement and hype for the future? Like, I don't think so. I think Halo just seems for some reason it has that special thing on it that like just drives the imagination a little bit. But that's also led to expectations being crazy. There's expectations are crazy around every Halo. So like just overall, like this supposedly dead franchise, right? Like creating this much buzz just over the fact of a studio name change and an engine change. Pretty damn crazy.
100%. And you don't see that often in the gaming space where a game says, you know, we're going to switch to a different engine, and the internet fucking blows up. That just, you know, that speaks volumes, especially, you know, everyone saying, you know, Halo is dead, but yet Halo, last time I knew, franchises don't hold esport championship events for a dead game. But, you know, well, that's something that really I don't see anyone sitting there saying, "Oh my god, I can't believe we just played Concord the event," and it's like, oh that's right, yeah, Concord died. So, but it's one of those things that with this franchise, you see the hype because Halo instilled so much in every gamer from the OG to the 360. Those two console generations, Halo solidified itself as in the gaming realm as one of those IPs that will forever be there, that will forever be synonymous with gaming, because it pretty much gave first person shooters a huge market on console.
Yeah.
As it wasn't so much, especially with online with the mixture combination of Halo and the OG Xbox. Having those two was a recipe that blew up where we are today, playing the Call of Duties. We're playing the Battlefronts. I was about to say Medal of Honor, but that died a long time ago. First person shooters, and even just online games, MMOs, everything like that gave way from first, you know, Sega kind of had the idea, but Xbox, Microsoft made it, you know, bringing broadband just brought it
Yeah.
online multiplayer gaming to homes across millions and millions of gamers. And Halo is one of those games that will not die as long as there's a console with a Halo on it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to new places too. That's another part of this conversation. It's something that's crept up online a lot, and you see a lot of like people now in the PlayStation community, obviously being like, "Oh, we're gonna get the Halos, right? We're gonna get the Halos now." I think because it's in Unreal, and what does that mean for us on PlayStation? All this kind of stuff, and Xbox is obviously putting more of their games in other places. And I just want to know, like, if that happened, right? Let's say Halo does end up with these future games going onto other platforms. I saw there was somebody on Twitter today that said that like what they foresee is like single player campaigns staying exclusive while the multiplayer games go over, and maybe they separate the games out based on that, like to everywhere, right? Like, would that affect anybody here personally, like with the way you see Xbox or your excitement for Halo or anything like that? What about you, Bob?
Uh, Honestly, at this point, I mean, Microsoft is going to do what they feel is best.
Mhm.
I definitely don't believe that they should necessarily release like the full campaign or anything like that right away, but like the way that the online and the campaign experience are separate, um, currently, like with the multiplayer being
Yeah,
free to play and the campaign being a pay to play experience, and just the nature of multiplayer gaming, like I feel like multiplayer gaming especially is in a way for everybody, um and if anything it's just going to add like a whole new generation and access to a wider range of players who've never had a chance to play Halo before, if they've never
yeah,
been in the PC or the Xbox ecosystem. And as painful as it is to some people, like I definitely understand the argument to not do it. Um, but just with where Microsoft is these days with gaming, like they are overreaching, like they are pretty much omnipresent in the PC space. And to me, like PC is like an enthusiast version of an Xbox. So it's no skin off my back if PlayStation players can also enjoy, like, if they can also enjoy like Halo. Like I don't think it's as big of a deal as some people might think. But yeah, I think probably the line that would be acceptable would be to bring the multiplayer to everybody, because it's just going to reinvigorate the franchise and possibly take it to new heights at that point, because I don't think Halo ever was necessarily as big as like Call of Duty at its largest, and that could be a big possibility is because it wasn't everywhere. So it could possibly like bring a whole new renaissance for Halo and all the people that have never gotten to play it, because it is a good game. It does deserve to be played by everybody, but whether or not we'd actually see that, I don't know. But I don't think it's that big of a deal.
yeah. I want to address a couple things in the chat real quick as well. Brett Bingham had said that like, yeah, it's not accurate. You don't have to. Oh, let me see what the comment was. Sorry, I missed the wrong one. Let's see. Here it is. Says that's not entirely accurate statement. You don't need to change engines to put it on a different platform. This is just clown talk. They could put MCC on PS5 now if they really want. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Right. I'm just saying it's brought up the conversation, right? Like for some reason, right after that announcement, you see a lot of conversation about that and people saying, well, it's Unreal now. There's no reason not to. And I don't know why they're putting two and two together with that. But it's brought that conversation again up to the forefront. And maybe it's people like just trying to try and throw some negative conversation out that they know will upset Xbox fans or something. I'm not sure why a lot of that conversation happens, but it's out there and a lot of people are talking about that as well now. For me, like it doesn't really affect me any kind of way. Like I've seen a lot of people have conversations about the gaming is dead or like Xbox is lost its identity or like there's no reason to have an Xbox anymore if they put their games other places and all this kind of stuff. And I'm just looking at like, hey, for me, I have more games than I ever could imagine to
Yeah.
play. I'm getting all these games on Xbox. I'm getting them in Game Pass. I'm getting them at a sooner and also at a better value than
Right.
people would get them on PlayStation. What reason would there ever be for me to need to go switch platforms if I like the games that I like, which are Xbox games?
Yeah.
I still think the best place to access those value wise is on an Xbox. And the fact that somebody else gets to play it doesn't change my experience whatsoever. In fact, it actually just might help the games be a little bit more
Right.
successful and make the companies make more money, which in turn makes the franchises healthier, which in turn means more investment into more games in the future. And if that's what it takes, hey, that's cool with me. I just want them to keep making consoles as long as consoles are relevant. I want them to keep providing me with great value with Game Pass, keep giving us great um, ecosystem feature exclusives like cross buy, cross progression, all those kind of things, Game Pass, day and date.
Mhm.
All these kind of things are reasons why I love Xbox and the ecosystem. Not only that, but the amount of variety of the genres and all that kind of stuff that we're getting. And a lot of people are not even talking about Aura. They're not talking about Age of Mythology
Right.
Retold. They're not talking about any of these games that are Xbox franchises that just had releases that are excellent. I've been playing the shit out of them, and I love it. And I can't get that on a PlayStation, right?
Yeah.
I can't get it on a PlayStation. So why would I ever choose to go there?
Yeah. PlayStation just
There's-
been Final Fantasy, Last of Us. What else they got cooking over there?
Right, another Horizon Zero Dawn
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
remaster, right? Like, yay, let's get excited for that. Yeah, until Dawn remaster just launched. Does anybody care about giving that a go? Like, I don't. I'm not excited for that. That's
Yeah,
why I sold my PlayStation. I'm just not excited for the games they have. The only one they have coming next year that I'm remotely excited for is Ghost of Yote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm excited for that. I'll have a little bit of FOMO, but can I wait for one game?
Oh, yeah.
I'm happy to wait for one game till it comes to PC. And like at this point, I have to make the decision: like, is it worth it for me to own that platform? Not
Yeah.
abandon ship from Xbox to go buy the same games that I love for more money and at a later date. It just doesn't add up, right? So
No.
if you like the games and you've been championing these games, you've been excited for these games, you've been celebrating these games, you've been saying how awesome Xbox is, even in the Xbox One generation when they had less than ever before, why would you say you need to leave now when they are giving you as the gamer more than you've ever had, at a better value than you've ever had, at a more frequent pace than we've ever had, and more variety of genres than we've ever had? Going as far as to buying publishers to add value to that for us, the consumer, in different games and franchises that we already know and love. So for me, hey, I'm here on Xbox as my primary platform until they don't make consoles or until they stop releasing games, right? And that's just the way it is because I'm invested in the ecosystem, right?
Yeah. I don't
Yeah,
think
so-
either of those things are stopping anytime soon.
No.
I don't think so either, man. But you know, it seems like there's been so much negativity about, hey, that this generation that, you know, oh, PlayStation's delivered while Xbox has faltered, and not for me. Right? Not for me. It's been the opposite, and I'm not ready to jump ship because I think those gamers, more so than anything, are only looking for one specific kind of game, right?
Right.
And the Xbox hasn't delivered that specific kind of game for them.
Or
right?
they're still playing like Call of Duty or Apex or Fortnite
Ship
or
with the Sea of
Blizzard
Thieves.
games, which are now
Yeah.
which are now part of Xbox as well. So
And you can go play Horizon for the third time and rebuy it again and all
Yep.
that kind of stuff. Hey, let's go. Let's do that, right? No, for me it's I'm super excited about the future, not only of Halo but Xbox, and I love that when with this news now for Halo, we see the investment that they're not giving up on their classic franchises just because they got ABK either,
Right.
Like they're going all in still.
yeah, that is a good thing to see. But to me, it's always just funny because I was kind of reflecting over this over the last 2 days. It's just like it feels like anytime there's something good that Microsoft or Xbox or Halo does, like it doesn't get like that natural like that natural word of mouth spread as if there's something negative going on, because people just love to hate on Xbox, but they don't spread like the good news as quickly as if they would about like Nintendo or PlayStation or anything else, just because there are like majorities there. And it's easy to hate on Xbox because it is owned by Microsoft, one of the biggest corporations in the world, which is very fair. Like we should be critical of any company and that's like providing us these experiences that we give our money and our data to. But like I just feel like it's a lot harder to get that goodwill going around like socially around like anything positive about like an Xbox product versus anything else.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That's 100%.
Yeah, and I think earlier when you were mentioning, what do you think with possible of Halo going other places? I think I saw that reporter, he posted that he thinks that the PS5 is going to get the multiplayer, but the campaign and everything else will be exclusive to Xbox. I mean, we've been kind of seeing that Xbox has kind of been uh, testing the waters on that front, and they see that live service games work well on PlayStation. Sea of Thieves, Grounded does pretty good, and then the single player experiences, Hi-Fi Rush and Pentiment, didn't do so well, because it's there when it comes to single player type games. They want that real cinematic, ultra realistic experience, and they're not going to play that. They're going to clamor for Hellblade 2. Once that comes over, if that ever comes over, that's what they want. They want that game. They are just salivating at the mouth to play that game. Because at the end of the day, they love Halo games, or they love Xbox games, and and that it's showing it more and more with why they always talk about Xbox, why they always say it sucks, only because it's not on their preferred platform. That's fine. Well, guess what? When Xbox does decide whatever they're going to do with Halo, they're going to put the multiplayer on everywhere, which is going to generate more revenue for them to produce more projects, and those projects stay on Xbox. People are going to start and be like, damn, I really like this Halo game, but over there they got this Halo project that looks really freaking cool. I love Halo. They might pick up a Series S, or whatever the next, if it's the handheld or whatever, or if the next console would be their Series X, to jump into and experience those next gen games. Who knows? But it's an exciting time for Xbox right now. They're pumping out, and they're really churning on a lot of great ideas. They had a little bit missteps as any company, but if you see how big Xbox has grown to, it's expected to, not everything is going to be hit out of the park all the time, but a lot of it is this, after a little while, I believe that's bad taste in journalists' mouths, and because one of their, acquiring Activision and Bethesda, I think with that, after a bit, when that goes away, we're going to see Xbox really be just constantly putting out games, and they're not going to give a fuck what these guys say, and they're going to be sitting there like, we're shitting on Xbox all the time, and yet they're putting out a bunch of games. Sony's made 2 games this year, and one is a game that we've already played 4 times, and bought 5 times, and I think, and you're going to see a shift a little bit, and and that's what I think Microsoft or Xbox is trying to do. They're going to just play the long game, and they're going to just pump out great content with new franchises, and and really don't give a fuck what people have to say, and idiots out there can talk all the shit they want, and at the end of the day, they're gonna either buy a PC, an Xbox, or buy the game if it comes to PlayStation.
Yeah, I think just overall, the scrutiny level for Xbox is definitely higher than the other companies. That's for sure, right?
Yeah.
And that's becomes with the territory of them being the giant company they are. Also, but you even see with individual franchises and any of the companies they acquire, immediately when they have a new release, it's judged differently, right? It's not thought it like when Obsidian showed Avowed gameplay for the first time, it's like, wow, that looks like a great new Obsidian game, right? But everybody's like, this isn't changing gaming forever. Like this isn't everything I ever hoped and dreamed about what could possibly be possible with the future of gaming. You know, and I'm like, right?
It
It's
doesn't
like
slice and dice and Julianne.
I'm like, it looks like a next best thing that Obsidian makes in their RPG with the Obsidian level RPG, right? But it may be bigger and better than we've ever gotten from them before. And that was kind of always my mentality with these acquisitions, is they were being acquired for the kinds of games that they make, right? Not to make the next big like next gen console seller quadruple A exclusive game that's going to melt your brains. It's like, no, they bought Obsidian to make Obsidian games, right? They bought these other companies to make their games, you know?
If anything, that's what we need, is like more like smaller games that like are unique than like big check all the boxes made for everybody mass consumption like AAA games like that are over budget and overproduced. Like we need those smaller unique experiences.
Yeah, 100%. I like the variety of genre and the kinds of games that we're getting, right? And right now, man, there's like, my God, there's so many damn games. Like, it's just I don't know what to do with myself because I'm addicted to Aura. I'm still technically in the fucking tutorial of Aura because I'm still in my first playthrough of the main of the game, which is like it's a 4X strategy. But I'm on turn 477 because you take turns in the game, and like I'm on turn 477. I just entered Act 3, fighting for my survival as the nation of Spain, right, in this world of conquest. And I'm like so completely enamored with this game. Then you have games like Age of Mythology Retold, and you have, guess what? Now we have Metaphor, Refantazio dropping, which, by the way, also has a really cool Xbox perk that in the Xbox ecosystem, if you buy it at the Xbox store, you get it on PC and console. Hey, that's awesome, right? I'd love to see that. Love to see more publishers doing that. But besides that, like, yeah, it's a hugely reviewed game that is now has like a 94 on Meta. Not that reviews are everything, but when I played the prologue on this, I was like, this is going to be a special game.
Oh, so it's a Sega game that has Play Anywhere?
It's Atlas, yeah. So this is the this is Atlas, you know, the makers of Persona.
Yeah.
Now, not only is Atlas Games now on Xbox, which people say, hey, I'm sick of games missing Xbox. For me, we're getting more games on Xbox that used to miss,
right?
That used to skip, right? We're getting Atlas games. We're getting the other Sega games like the Yakuza franchise. We're getting now Square Enix games, the whole Dragon Quest stuff that keeps coming. We have the Trials series, or not Trials, the Mana series. Now we have the Final Fantasy remasters for the Pixel remasters, and we also know more Final Fantasy stuff's coming. But this new Atlas game, Metaphor Refantazio, I had a prologue demo that came out, right? And it was absolutely awesome. I loved everything I had played on it, and I was like, I'm just going to stop for now and wait for the game to come out because I'm still playing all these other games. I even tried Sifu last night on Game Pass, which was awesome. And all these games are hitting just like left and right now. They're just in full stride.
Mm-hmm.
And here comes Metaphor, a 100-hour game, right? With a 94 on Meta. Xbox actually not only is not being skipped this time around, they actually have marketing rights, and they have that perk, like I said, for their ecosystem. But this is looking like it could be a Game of the Year contender. With the way the reviews came down and stuff, and the way people are talking about this game. And it's great to see Xbox and the ecosystem not only not being skipped, but have marketing rights on this franchise that is. Remember, there was a streamer last week or a couple days ago that was like saying, "Hey, you know, it's stupid that they got marketing rights for this game because like people don't even know it's on PlayStation." It was like, well, that's what they do it for, right? It's because they want to have the association with the platform.
Well, how the turntables.
Right. And not only is it working, but like also we've seen other good signs like the Final Fantasy Pixel remasters are selling really well on Xbox around the world and stuff. And it's awesome to see this Metaphor game now getting this kind of praise. And I think a lot of Xbox fans that said people in the community, people that had podcasts or people that were talking on podcasts for a long time saying that these kind of games don't matter. Nobody in the Xbox cares about these games. Why do they even bother trying to bring these games to Xbox? All this kind of stuff. I think a lot of these people are going to be playing the hell out of Metaphor and are going to be really praising it because they're being introduced to it. Right.
I think most importantly though, like even though it's like a dope game that to have over here, like I want to see more of this like play anywhere. Like if you because honestly, like that could be really a big boon for Microsoft in general is if they get more of these third party companies. Like I know like Sega and Atlas, they have like a really close tie to them. But if they can convince more companies to like do the day or if you purchase one just like a first party game, you purchase it on Xbox, you can play it on PC. Like if they can do more of that, that already just doubles the value of your purchase right out the gate, and that's something that Sony will probably almost never agree to doing unless it becomes industry standard. So I think that's probably one of the coolest things about it when you bring that up.
Yeah, man. I fell in love with it immediately because it takes when I was playing the prologue, it takes the things I love about the Atlas games because I played Personas for a while. I think I bought Persona 5 twice on PlayStation because went and bought the Royale edition when it came out. Also, I love the game, right? But like, there's parts of it that I don't like that I feel like have always kind of like bogged it down a little bit for me of the Persona series. And also, I prefer the whole school setting and like spending so much time going around talking to everybody at school just drove me fucking crazy sometimes. But good stories within that. It's just I wanted to be out doing RPG shit, you know. And the this game takes my favorite setting, which is like that fantasy setting, right?
Yeah.
Final Fantasy style, you know, all that kind of stuff. Bringing what makes the game special that Atlas makes over into that setting and kind of losing the things that I wasn't as interested in, but doubling down on all the things that I am into. And the style of the game, the graphics, like just it shows not everything has to be like a realistic looking, you know, third person action game or whatever narrative focus. This is just a grand JRPG brought to us in the old school way, but it's new, you know. And I absolutely I think this game's gonna do a lot. I think it's gonna be excellent.
Oh,
It's a
100%.
Refantazio, if you will.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Whatever that means.
Like I've been playing it for the last couple days. You know, just really reading the story, getting into, and so far Metaphor has been the best of what Persona offers, mixing with a high fantasy and you know, the school settings was not my favorite, but you know, that's part of the Persona thing. But with this, you don't have that. You know, you do talk to the city townsfolk, but you know, you don't have to sit there and try to do quizzes. But with Metaphor, it's going to take what people loved about Persona up a notch because this is going to be it's a whole new franchise. So, but it's familiar at the same time for those Persona and Shin Megami Tensei players out there that love that style of Atlas games. Now with a new IP that is Metaphor Refantazio it's just insane. I'm having such a blast. The way your I wouldn't say it's not your personas, it's like your magic, where you transform into like whatever. You have the warrior, you have the mage, you have the healer, you have the knight and stuff like that. It's just really really changes, and then you can take a spell from another you know persona per se, and put it like right now I'm the healer, so I can do light damage and heal, and then you know I took what do you call it? The wind damage. So now he has wind damage as well. And then with my seeker for one of my other characters, I do the giant slash, but also do fire damage. And then I have my knight. She does this barrage of. She has a lot of spells, and then she does ice. So this way you can have because the mage does the fire, lightning, ice, and so you can mix and match and have certain spells. So this way, certain creatures in certain areas are weakness against fire or ice or lightning or wind. You can have your personas the way you want to for the area you're in. So this way, you don't have to change out your personas, level them up, and everything else. And it's really great, and I'm enjoying it. The art design is phenomenal. You don't have to have these AAA big budget cinematic experiences. This game looks beautiful. The art design, even the UI, it's just amazing. This Atlas is showing you that you don't need to spend a $500 million to make a really good looking game.
Yeah, and the speaking of the art style, it's just absolutely beautiful. Like and it's one of these things where it's saying that hey, other kinds of games can be huge, massive deals as well. And I think this game's going to be a game of the year contender, which I kind of wanted to get into a little bit because I wanted to know what you guys think are going to be the early contenders for that. Assassin's Creed Shadows is delayed. Not that it really had a chance at that anyway. But you have Concord. No, I'm just kidding. No, you have Astrobot. You have maybe Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, right? You have Metaphor. Maybe Dragon's Dogma 2 is in there. It would usually they have like what 6 candidates, I
And
think.
Zelda, because it's
Yeah.
Nintendo.
What did that review well? The new Zelda
don't
game?
matter. It's Zelda.
I'm just I wasn't paying attention to the release of it at all, so but I'm not sure how it did or
I mean,
or what.
I would say Helldivers probably deserves a spot up, the nomination at least.
I think it'll be nominated for maybe best multiplayer or something
Like
probably.
live service
Best
game or
Steam
something.
game.
Yeah.
There'll be a couple of interesting candidates in different categories for sure. This has been an excellent year for gamings in different genres.
100%.
For sure. There's been so many awesome games come out and tons of different kinds of genres. But overall, I think you're gonna see a little bit of different kinds of games in the game of year category.
Let's be
this
honest,
year.
if they do a continued game like they did for what is it, Phantom Liberty for Cyberpunk last year, Elden Ring's probably gonna run away with that one.
Yeah, for sure. Right. Shattered Space won't. Because the reception has not been good, right? I'm enjoying the hell out of it, but I have seen it run on the Series X. I do know it has some performance issues, definitely on the console. I've been playing on PC, luckily with no issues, and
I've been trying to revisit it, but I haven't got literally the last time I played Starfield, I had just gone through the completion of a game, like a playthrough, basically. I don't know the best spoiler
I don't know how to word that either, right?
But essentially, more or less, I'm starting fresh at this point, so I'm not sure exactly how far to progress the story to get to the right place. But I just found myself just kind of enjoying wandering around and starting the missions and stuff again to refamiliarize myself with the game. But I'm looking forward to getting into the DLC and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of ongoing content though too, Vessel of Hatred has had its launch delayed by a few hours today because of some issues with the back end, they said, and they had to do a big. So if you're playing on PC on battle.net, you got to do some kind of a big update before you can play it, and they're waiting. They're going to give information when that's going to be available. But the other platforms, I guess, that it's on is going to be available to play here shortly if it hasn't already just dropped. But that's another one that's got a lot of praise as well with reviews and the sentiment from the gamers that have given it a chance ahead of time because they were given access to it, is that this is a damn big expansion with Vessel of
Okay.
Hatred, and that it actually is giving a lot of awesome content and is kind of setting the table also for things to come. I think even IGN like gave it like a 8 or a 9.
Oh,
I
wow.
think yeah. So like
Yeah, wasn't Diablo like pretty universally like
yeah, you know, it had
not really enjoyed?
I still was having a blast with it anytime
Yeah.
I popped into it. You know, a lot of the conversations that happen out there, I don't really get it. You know, I don't get a lot of the disappointment that a lot of people have sometimes in these games. I just kind of like
Right.
play the game and I'm like, this is awesome and I'm having a blast. And it's like the outside noise doesn't really bother me whatsoever. But yeah, there's been a lot of that with
Yeah.
Diablo. But the sentiment's kind of changing with this content. It
Yeah,
doesn't
now
help
that
though that they had the issue with the launch.
right. Yeah, now that it's in Game Pass, I'm more likely to give it a shot. But like with that delay and not necessarily wanting to buy it at that like when it released, I feel like I'm too far behind the ball right now to jump right in.
Yeah. And it's got like an 85 on Meta for the DLC, which is really good.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah, that's solid.
Yeah.
No, it's not a 90 Mav. It's not perfection. Therefore, I can't let it grace my eyeballs with its imperfections.
And another game that surprised that came out this week, which something I didn't expect to actually have the reviews that it did, was Silent Hill 2.
Yeah, that was looking pretty cool, honestly.
Yeah, I was down on it because when they showed it the first couple times, I'm like, well, yeah, it just didn't look like they did too much, and like, but
is that coming to PC?
Yes.
Yeah, it's on PC. Yeah.
Okay, sick.
Yeah, and it's it had really good reviews and stuff, and I was like, what? Why is everybody reviewing this really well? And a lot of the reviews said that you know, they're praising it for it being staying true to the game in a lot of ways, right? Which I think is also kind of it, like in a weird way, giving an excuse for not doing a full-on remake like a Resident Evil level
no reason
remake.
to buy a PlayStation.
But at the same time, it's like if I'm thinking of it more of like maybe it'll be more in the vein of like what Mass Effect did, right? To those classic Mass Effect games, right? Kind of staying true, improving the mechanics, improving the feel a little bit, making it a lot prettier, but trying to stay true to the game. Right. And it's getting a lot of praise for that. And speaking of, I'll just, because I was going over same with the Diablo reviews, was this one ranked at, oh geez, why did I click on the wrong thing?
I think it's finally time for me to do a Mass Effect playthrough.
87 on Meta.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
And don't forget, this is the same company. This is Bloober Team that made the Medium. So the Medium was it's something that was similar to Silent Hill, in that type of, you know, no guns, no, you know, you don't kill any of the enemies. But you know, that's kind of how Silent Hill is. And did anyone really have? Yeah, no, it didn't look good when they first showed it. But what they did show, well, obviously that's probably running on a PC, not a PS5, and it's
PS5 Pro. We have the frames.
I think you had guns in Silent Hill too, didn't you?
No Silent Hill guns were not part of Silent Hill.
You take pictures?
Really?
No, that was Fatal Frame. Those pictures. No, it was the same thing as the Medium. You just ran away.
I'm literally looking at a picture of the guy holding a gun.
I don't remember.
maybe my mind's like AJ
I forgot.
says,
maybe I'm
the early 2000s was a strange time.
I think
I always thought you didn't.
I think you're tripping, Psycho. I thought it was more like old school Resident Evil, like that, where you kind of, it is like tank controls and stuff. You move slowly, but I thought you had guns and you killed the enemies and stuff. Yeah, and they there's guns in it.
Okay.
But anyway,
then I'm thinking of something totally different.
Yeah, that's all right. It's a classic franchise, right? Like that. Silent Hill 2 is what most people consider the holy grail of Silent Hill, right? So
Yeah.
this is I guess the remake is staying kind of true to it. It's a console exclusive to PlayStation. It's on PC as well. So at some
Which is
point,
technically an Xbox.
which is at some point I'll be getting it on PC at some point. But there's so much to play right now, man. I don't know how I'm gonna figure out how to play Metaphor, knowing also that Vessel of Hatred is here, knowing that also we have Indiana Jones still coming this year. We have Flight Sim still coming this year. We have later this month Call of Duty, a Black Ops 6 is dropping. It's just like I'm inundated with games.
I'll save it. I'll free up some time. Just skip Black Ops.
Skip Black Ops? No, I can't. I can't do that. Why would I do that?
I'm just kidding.
We got to play Black Ops together.
Okay.
It's in Game Pass, Bob.
It is on Game Pass, so I will play it. But honestly, I'm a Delta Force boy now. They've converted me.
Yeah, you're gonna be all in on that. When is that coming to console?
I have no idea when it's coming to console, but it's gonna be back in Next Fest for early access on the 14th.
Right on.
And then I think Q1 might. I don't know. I'm just pulling that out of my ass. I don't think there's a set time frame for console, but it shouldn't be too much longer. Sometime next year. Which I mean,
I'm looking
honestly,
forward to giving it a go.
like I wonder if that's like part of the reason why EA like might have announced some of the Battlefield stuff like so soon, because like that game was looking like it's gonna dust anything that EA is doing.
Yeah, they had like a huge like huge demo, like, right? Or what are you, alpha or insider test? Like there's just tons of people were giving it praise. It
Yeah,
looked
it
like
was-
Battlefield. It just looked straight up Battlefield.
Yeah.
And then right after you have Battlefield is like, hey, we're doing this, we're doing that, and it's gonna be awesome, right? And we're like, cool. I'm excited for the next Battlefield too.
Yeah.
But they're gonna have some competition now with that game, I think.
Right. Yeah. Like basically what I was told also is that like the game modes are actually kind of like the old Delta Force games, and they're actually using maps from the old Delta Force games, which Battlefield was actually kind of based off of. So it's kind of like a cyclical thing at that point. But
Right.
I don't know. I'm excited for both though. I just honestly, there hasn't been a good Battlefield in my opinion since like 3. So
It's been a while then.
yeah, it's been a while.
I don't know why they just don't do Bad Company 3. It's like the easy home run, right?
Yeah, it would be pretty simple.
It's why can't companies just take the easy win?
Dude, they're just trying to reinvent the wheel and also make the wheel pay out dividends over the next 5 to 10 years after they release the wheel.
It's the wheel that keeps on rolling, baby.
it's
That's
the
what they
wheel-
want.
It's the wheel that keeps on giving. The
Yeah.
Holy Grail, brother.
Man, yeah, Ubisoft has been the one that looks like the wheels are falling off right there.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, X Defiant plummeted, and then what was it? What was the most recent? Oh, Assassin's Creed, and then also did that Star Wars game not perform as well as they expected?
No, it underperformed for them. I think it's a good game.
Yeah, it
I
looks
played
interesting.
some of it, but like ultimately it didn't do what they were hoping for whatever
Right.
reasons, you know. But
Well, it's like all these AAA companies, like they're producing these games, which are like probably the value point for that game is probably about $40, but they're like, hey, we'll sell it to you for 120.
and then 6 months later we'll sell it to you for $3. How about that?
Yeah. No one, just wait till when no one wants it. I
Yeah,
just don't like
$3 sale.
like the approach that these companies have to gaming. I feel like is just unsustainable because people have options and there's competition. Like it's not like a captive market anymore.
Well, it's like interesting if only Ubisoft would fill the void that's in the industry that's left by the kind of games that they used to make.
Right.
it just is so weird sometimes how they always chase something and instead of just sticking to, hey, what got us here, right? Let's keep doing that, but better and bigger and better and bigger and better, right?
Or even like at this point with like modern day games too. Like honestly, my biggest pet peeve is just that all these companies just seem like they're thinking of their monetization strategy above everything else. Like they're planning that first. They're thinking long term of how they can continue milking from these games, but they do that while prioritizing that instead of just like what makes this game fun, what makes people spend more time with it, like keep coming back, like what will help them engage, instead of like the monetization system being like another level of engaging and supporting the developer. It just becomes like the core feature, and people have shown time and time again that they do not like that, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Man, I wish Fuzzy was able to be here right now. His internet is like crapping out on him in and out and stuff. But he did pull an awesome Fuzzy Belvedere thing and send me all the tidbit stuff earlier. So we have tidbits ready to go for everybody for the show. And I think it's just about time for some tidbits. Are you good with sticking around, Psycho?
Yeah, I'll jump after tidbits.
Okay, right on. So everybody, this is the last segment of FSP, and it's called this is tidbits where we look ahead at the games releasing for the week, and there is actually
that was really nice.
Yeah, I think you like that.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, it's cool. We have quite a few games actually coming out this week, so let's get into some awesome ones, if I would say so myself. Starting with
I saw my corpse, and from my mouth.
Oh yeah, that does look fucking cool.
Diablo 4: Vessel of Hatred.
My friend, Nayrel.
Dude, Diablo is like one of my favorite games just to see the like the cinematics for.
Yeah.
Like I've never played it. Same thing like with StarCraft back in the day.
Where is the girl?
So there's like a new class, right?
Yeah, Spiritborn.
Okay. Become like
It's like a jungly guy.
Like an Aztec warrior of sorts.
Right.
Help is needed, so help is offered.
And you can get the expansion for $40.
Oh, sick.
Available pretty much everywhere. Except for
like
Switch,
that.
because yeah, right.
Kind of like that Destiny model where you get like a whole like campaign's worth of content essentially, or
Yeah.
okay.
It's like there's just a lot of content here. It kind of changes a lot with the way the main game is structured and plays too, supposedly. So
Okay.
Child of my child,
Oh, Gravemind's here.
I will give you
Jez had a good write-up on it on Windows Central,
long for.
or Windows Central did. I'm not sure who wrote the article.
Oh, sick.
But man, they kill it with their trailers, dude.
Yeah.
This is getting me hyped. I gotta dive in like soon.
Ooh. So that's tomorrow.
It's tonight. It's about to drop.
Oh, you get like a
Yeah.
Cyber Cheetah.
It's Cyber Cheetah exclusive.
Cyber Cheetah exclusive.
Oh, you also get a month of Game Pass if you buy it.
Oh, sick.
Game Pass Ultimate, yeah.
It's pretty sick.
Next, the game we're just talking about, Silent Hill 2.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me.
Reawake or Silent Hill, was it?
I'm sorry.
Is it? I say
I was
Reawakening,
It's okay.
or is it
I
just
didn't mean
Silent
to
Hill?
scare you. I'm kind of lost. I'm looking for Silent Hill.
Let's look.
I think you should
Oh,
stay
he said
away. This town, there's something wrong with it.
Is it dangerous?
I think it might just be remake
Maybe.
or Silent
Yeah,
Hill
so
2.
I don't know. It's Silent
I'll
Hill.
be careful.
Silent Hill 2.
I'm not
That's all,
lying.
I guess.
Yeah. Just
I
self-titled.
guess I don't really care if it's dangerous or not.
That's the way to do it, honestly. Like
Yeah.
enough time has passed where like people, like there's more gamers that haven't played this game than have. I could really have a moment.
No, you shouldn't be here.
Yeah, I was thinking about buying this if it was on PC for a scary game to play, honestly.
Yeah, it like this is the best footage I've seen for it, right? It's looking pretty solid.
See, we do have a
I'll
pistol.
be good, I promise. Tell him
I had to make that clear because that would be funny if like everything Psycho said and then we see him literally shooting the enemies on this trailer, right?
Oh, there we go. Oh, that's not a gun. It's a very fancy camera.
It's in your imagination. You don't see a gun there.
There's no
That
gun.
didn't exist.
There's no guns behind the curtain.
So again, I thought the Medium was a good game too. I enjoyed it, but it wasn't like amazing.
Man, I kind of want to play that though.
Get it, Bob?
Man,
This is what Tidbits for, is to give you FOMO.
I don't. I'm gonna be so poor. Oh yeah, and the new Dragon Ball Z game.
Yeah. Silent Hill 2 is on PC and PlayStation, and I think it is it's $70. $70.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I can wait till next year.
And this is Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and Steam. And this one is $70.
Man, these games I always like wish I could get into,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I still need to play Street Fighter, let alone like any of these Dragon Ball Z fighting games or Dragon Ball fighting games. Sick.
All right, next is, man, we're on fire this week. Is this maybe the best week in gaming for the year? Vessel of Hatred,
This is
Silent
pretty
Hill 2,
fucking crazy.
Dragon Ball Striking Zero, and then Metaphor Refantazio all the same fucking week. Wow.
Pretty high profile.
And this one's sitting at a 94 on Meta. It's absolutely insane. The other ones were in the high 80s. I'm not sure about Dragon Ball. I didn't look that up.
Let me take a look.
Which if a game's that I enjoy is 60, I don't really give a shit, right? But like it's getting universal praise, which means that these kind of games might show up later with the awards conversation and all that kind of stuff, right?
Right. Well, it's like if a game scores like 80 or more, then if you have any general interest in it, you have a good chance of enjoying it.
Yeah.
Looks like Sparking Zero is at 82 on Metacritic.
Wow. And this is releasing on Xbox Series X and S, PC, PlayStation. And you can try the prologue demo for free if you're on the fence to see what it's all about.
Well worth it.
Yeah. And then Starship Troopers Extermination.
War has begun. At the frontier of the Federation.
I played this in
Our
early
peaceful
access a little
colonies
bit too.
are
I think I
under
need to update it and see if I
Who's
still have
our
access
enemy?
to the full game.
Yeah.
Ruthless.
Did you enjoy what you played? Or?
It was no Helldivers at the time, but it was pretty interesting.
This one's only 30.
But fear not, loyal citizens.
$30.
The Deep Space Vanguard.
It had like base building elements to it that were, I don't know, I wish I would have gotten into a little bit more. Because it's almost like power defense also.
Yeah.
We need soldiers.
And this is on PC, Xbox, and PS5. Xbox Series X and S.
And you, Tiger spotted.
Like any other week,
Yes,
right?
Eagle
If
Silver.
this had come out in the summer when it's more like dead time, I would have been like all over this, right?
And do your
Or something.
and remember, service guarantees citizenship.
Yeah, I mean, Helldivers pretty much just steez jock the fuck out of Starship Troopers. I don't know how much leeway there is for more.
Casper Van Dien as Johnny Rico.
It's got Johnny Rico. Oh man, that's only good for like us 30-year-olds, really. Let's be honest.
3, 2.
Here we got the kart racer Transformers games.
Galactic
Transformers
Trials.
Galactic
Oh
Trials.
shit! Oh yeah, because there's a new
Raised in
Transformers
Baltimore.
movie out too.
Yeah. Now this is made by a company that usually doesn't deliver very great
Right
games for
in
me, in my
Baltimore.
opinion.
So
So
it's kind of jank. If all they have to say is fight bot mode.
well, I thought this was the kart racer
as
one.
an
This isn't.
Autobot.
Is this kart racer one? This looks different. Maybe this
Play
isn't the
as
kart racer
Autobot.
one.
Or as a Decepticon.
Or as Decepticon. Play.
Play solo.
This is okay. It is like the racer one, but I guess there's more to it than that. I don't know.
Play against a friend.
Yeah, you can play solo or against friend, man.
And play against a friend?
You can play as Autobot.
Tell
or
me
as
more.
Decepticon.
Transformers. Galactic Trials.
October
Galactic
11.
Trials. Yeah, that looks like dog shit.
Oh, and here we go, Fuzzy.
This looked interesting to me. I didn't even know
Yeah.
this was coming out.
Yeah,
Fuzzy's been
Undisputed.
playing this.
I used to love Fight Night back in the day.
I think EA is sitting back, waiting. They're probably working on a new Fight Night, waiting to see how this does, and if it does pretty well, they know that they could do Fight Night and get a.
Yeah, because they've mainly just been doing the UFC thing for the last like
yeah.
5 to 10 years. It feels like.
This is $50. It's releasing on PS5 at Series X and S and getting its official release on PC.
Sick.
And I didn't even look up the Transformers one because I just didn't give a shit, but I should just for the sake of it.
Galactic Trial.
All right, I think. Wait, hold on. That's not it. Okay, that was it. It's going into other shit now. All right, so that was it for
yeah.
tidbits. What a week! What a fucking week!
Pretty damn good.
We also have Transformers Galactic Trials was 40, and
My
it's
pocketbook's not gonna be-
releasing on Switch, Xbox, PlayStation. I think PC also. I'm not 100% on the. Yeah, I think it's on PC also. If you're interested in that dog shit looking game, there it is. $40.
It's also on mobile. Emphasis on mobile.
Yeah. It's on mobile for $2. I don't know if that's a true statement.
Upcharge. No, that'd
Yeah, I
be funny
don't-
though. It'd be a lot funnier if it was true.
It could be. I don't know. It could have been out for 8 years on fucking
Man,
mobile for all I know.
I ain't gonna doubt it, brother. I'm here with you. Let's spread those lies. Let's speculate.
Yeah. This is sorry for any misinformation about this very highly anticipated Transformers game that I know many of us have been looking forward to.
We can just look at it and go by feels.
Yeah. This feels like it probably is going to be shit, and it's not worth our time and effort of even mentioning it ever again.
You remember that pile of dinosaur poop that Jeff Goldblum stuck his hand in or whatever?
That was Transformers Galactic.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Yeah, Fuzzy's internet is crapped out and it didn't go well. For him, he was trying to reset his router and he said it didn't go as planned. So I don't know what that means, but hopefully you get your internet resolved, bro. But yeah, sorry you couldn't be here. But hey, thanks for sending the tidbits because it worked flawlessly. We're trying to figure out how how to do it, because last week we had a little bit of a fiasco with tidbits. It just wasn't really working right the way we tried it. But this way, I think it worked really good. So, yeah, what a week for games. Absolutely. Lots of awesome shit to play, and tons of stuff already just came out recently that I'm still playing. So I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do with my life here. I just gonna want games that I don't have time to play, I guess. Anyway,
It's a safe bet.
yeah, for all of us, I think at this point.
Mm-hmm.
But gaming is so bad these days, man.
Yeah.
Why is gaming such in the toilet? Anyway,
Didn't they say that there's nothing coming out in gaming?
yeah, gaming is just stopped.
Yeah, apparently there's no games.
Yeah. That's the way it seems like on the internet sometimes. But hey, we're here playing games.
Because they all own PlayStations.
Probably.
Refuse to change.
Man,
PlayStation has no games.
man, that makes a lot of sense, man. Really, the more they were done once they're done with Astrobot, which lasted for about 3 days. You know what the hell they've been doing with their
They
life?
talked about Spider-Man 2 for like a whole month, you know?
Right. Yeah, it's crazy life, crazy world we live in, everybody. But here we are at the end of Fun Speculation Podcast, episode 118. And I want to thank Fuzzy for also being here earlier. Sorry your internet crapped out. Shout out to 3-Bit who couldn't make it tonight. He had some family stuff. Shout out to everybody who takes part in any of our stuff that we do here. Psycho, thanks for sticking around for the whole show, man.
Yeah, no problem.
And tell everybody where they find you.
Yeah, 3-Bit's busy making a family. That's what it was.
So, oh, okay.
Yeah. Don't let them fool you. And no, chat, thanks for coming by. You can find me everywhere on social media, Psychonauts. I might be around after this weekend. We'll see. If I go silent, it was great knowing y'all.
Godspeed.
And go Xbox and fuck PlayStation.
No. We gotta still hope for great PlayStation things. We don't want to.
Oh yeah,
them. We want them to be good and succeed, and just ask them to deliver on the things that we want as gamers.
Yeah, well, they need to actually stop money heading and stop being fucking scared little bitches and compete. But yeah.
That is competing for them, that's for sure. But Bob, Game Pass Dad, making his appearance back here on Fun Speculation here after a little time away, man. Missed you, but thanks for being here. I saw the chat missed you too. They were saying so earlier.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I appreciate you keeping the door open for me when I'm not crazy busy. Definitely still trying to drop in on Fridays when I can. But it just seems like I've had more comedy shows and like hanging out with other people on Fridays. But definitely Mondays when I can, I'll be here and trying to get my gamer podcasting hat on more often. So I appreciate you letting me hang out. It's been a good time.
Yeah, man. It was a fun show tonight. But yeah, we'll get everybody out of here. We do have more content coming this week. We'll see if there's any other crazy news that might inspire a impromptu stream. Other than that, we'll have 7 p.m. Eastern time. And then also Friday night at 9 p.m. Eastern time. Again, new times for Xbox Ultimate. And we're going to have a lot of fun Friday night. I guarantee you. Talking Halo, talking Xbox stuff. There's a lot of releases this week. Other games we're going to get to try. So I look forward to that show on Friday night. And I hope you all have a good one. Thanks for watching. And good night, everybody.
Later, everybody.